Well, Aziz, on Parks and Recreation, you play Tom. I've never understood, even though I've watched the show since the beginning, exactly what does Tom do for the Parks and Recreation Department?
I think he just mainly is there so he has a computer he can use to work on the other stuff that he's up to. He's technically an administrative assistant, but it always seems like he's just there working on other stuff that has nothing to do with parks at all.
Yeah, Ron Swanson just, I think in the finale, said that you were there to slow things down.
Yeah, I think he's like many people that I've noticed in the workforce that are just at a computer, just talking to people on IM and working on other stuff, and not really doing anything related to the job.
You guys look like you're having a pretty good time on set. What is this cast of actors like to work with day to day?
They're amazing. I have so much respect for everyone in our cast, and I just try to learn whatever I can from all those people. And I think everyone's talented and in such a unique way, and brings such a different energy and vibe to their characters that I think it's really an amazing ensemble, and we all feel lucky to be a part of it.
Mm.
Well, you were cast on the show before there ever even was an official show. All we knew at the front end, I guess, was who the executive producers were going to be, and that you were part of it. Were you involved in helping come up with some of the ideas, or at least what Tom would be?
I met with them about Tom early on, just them and the producers, Mike Shear and Greg Daniels, and the writers, and we were just talking about Tom. And I remember some of the things we talked about early on were, him being really into fashion, maybe him being into the whole nightlife scene and clubs and bottle service and stuff. Because I think we thought it'd be funny if there was a guy that was into that stuff in a town where that wasn't even possible at all, really. And also him being into flirting with women in weird ways. And those are all things that have kind of maintained themselves throughout the show, and it's just been interesting seeing how they've manifested themselves. Like, for example, the whole idea of that club, the Snake Hole Lounge, kind of came from, like, the idea of, what if there was a way for him to kind of live that life in a small-town way?
Well, we spoke to your castmate, Nick Offerman, the other day, and we asked him to ask you a question through us just to see what your reaction would be. So I'm just going to read it out, okay? Okay, so Nick says, one of your geeky obsessions is that you research restaurants for the best food, and he wants to know, where is the best place to get a pulled pork sandwich in Cleveland, Ohio?
Well, I was just in Cleveland, Ohio a few days ago. I don't know if they had a pulled pork sandwich, but there's a restaurant called Greenhouse Tavern that was very, very tasty. And I imagine they probably have some sort of pulled pork dish.
Fantastic. Good to know. I'm just going to take a note of that in case I'm ever in Cleveland. Right.
We hope you get a payoff from that plug right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just made $5,000.
Well, actually, I could just follow up on that. Given that Tom is such a foodie, and you are too, do you get many people wanting to come up to you and talk to you about the food nicknames? Because that was a really funny highlight from Soulmates, one of the episodes from last season.
That was so crazy how that spread around, and then some fans made that website, haverfoods.com, where they made up new ones. A lot of them were really funny. Yeah, that's become one of those things. I think when you do something in comedy that really goes well, you'll know because people will just yell it to you on the street, or just immediately just say stuff to you regarding that bit. And yeah, that's become one of those things. I'm really glad people were into that. It was a fun bit to shoot, and I'm glad it went over well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Aziz, you're entered into the Emmy ballot for the Comedy Supporting Actor category. And if you get nominated this summer, you're going to have to pick one episode from this past season. Do you have a favorite of yours as you played Tom this season?
That Soulmates episode was really fun because I got to do a lot of work with Amy in that episode, and she's so amazing that she's so good it makes you look good. So maybe that one. There's also one where the one where I got to host the game show. That was pretty fun.
But we were also thinking maybe about Indianapolis because that's the one where you get to see a little bit different side of Tom. He's really crushed when his idol turns him down.
Yeah, that's the episode where there's a... this is what I love about the show. The town has a local cologne magnate. I don't know what town has like a local cologne guy, but Pawnee does. And yeah, Tom creates a cologne, and he says it smells terrible. And It was really fun. It's always fun to play a little bit of a range and get to play things where, you see a guy crush for a little bit and things like that. And, that was a fun episode.
Aziz, you're mostly known for being a stand-up comedian, and you had a recent special. You also hosted the MTV Movie Awards last year. But I was just wondering, with all the stuff that's been going on at the moment with Tracy Morgan, do you ever feel that sometimes you need to watch what you say now and be more politically correct, or do you just think that sometimes people let this stuff just get completely out of proportion?
Me personally, with my stand-up, I don't ever feel a need to censor myself. But I don't know. I mean, as far as what he said, I can't comment on it. I didn't see that show or, whatever. But I would think it's safe to say that joke didn't go over too well.
No.
I would say that bit maybe doesn't work.
Probably not, no.
Well, beyond stand-up and beyond parts, you've got a big movie opening later this summer. Tell us about that one.
It's called 30 Minutes or Less. It's me, Jesse Eisenberg, Danny McBride, and Nick Swartzen. And it's an action comedy. The premise is that these bad guys, played by Danny McBride and Nick Swartzen, put a bomb on Jesse Eisenberg and tell him he has to rob a bank. And I play his best friend and I help him rob the bank. So it's a fun kind of comedy about two normal guys having to rob a bank.
Well, I've already heard good things, even in this time leading up to it. When is that coming out?
It comes out in August.
Okay. Well, listen, we really appreciate your time today and hope you're having a great summer vacation. And I know all the Parks fans can't wait to see the next season.
Thank you guys very much for speaking with me. And yes, I look forward to going back and shooting more Parks.
Thank you.